Well, I'm focusing this series on seeking women, and we're looking at women in the Bible who were seeking after something. And I think we all seem to be seeking something, don't we? We're all after something, and we hope we're after God's heart. And most of these women are, but there are a couple that we're not sure about. But today we're going to look at the Queen of Sheba. Have you ever heard anybody say about someone who's just trying to be uppity, who do you think you are, the Queen of Sheba? Uh, that's who we're talking about today. This queen was wealthy beyond our understanding, and she wanted to know more about this man, Solomon. She was really curious about him. She knew he was very wise. She wanted his wisdom, and I'm sure she was a little curious about how he lived as well. She was willing to travel a very great distance and at great cost to meet Solomon. Solomon himself lived in great extravagance. We're going to look at that today. Well, let's think about today traveling a great distance, much like the Queen did. Well, I've been privileged to travel quite a bit and see lots of places in the world, and I've seen places of great extravagance. Well, I recently got home. It's been just a little over a week ago in the nick of time. I arrived home from the United Arab Emirates. Went on this trip with my husband and our dear friends, John and Debbie Berg. Debbie's here today. And we saw one of the most extravagant, wealthy countries on earth today. It's only 50 years old. This country was established with a real clear vision in mind. And they have ended up today as having two cities that are on different lists, either the top 5 or the top 10 wealthiest cities in the world, Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and we got to see them. This country went from very underdeveloped desert land to extravagant developments, much growth, and a major tourist destination. I got asked the question many times, you're going where? And why are you going there? And are you afraid? And my answer was, because I have heard wonderful things and I'm curious. I want to see how the people live there. Well, we visited those two major cities there, Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Dubai is a city that has 86,000 resident millionaires. It has over 24 billionaires. There are many modern-day curious people like the Queen of Sheba who wants to see how a country is run that has this kind of extravagance. So we were able to see some beautiful sights. This country is made of 7 states, the United Arab Emirates. Emirates is another word for states. We were able to see 2 of those. And we were able to go to the tallest building in the world. This is called the Burj Khalifa. You may have, over the last few days, heard about some of these places because they've been targeted with missiles and drones by Iran. Yes, the very places we stood a week earlier have been the target. And this is one of the buildings that was targeted. It never did receive so far any damage. This cost $1.5 billion to build. And it hosts apartments and it hosts offices. And we went to the top. We went to the 124th floor. And here's a little photo op. You can see that I am towering over skyscrapers. If we can get to the next picture. There I am in a photo op. And you can see there are skyscrapers beneath me. That was the strangest sensation, to look down on all the tall buildings. Well, then we went to a place called Atlantis. Atlantis the Palm. This is a luxury hotel resort. It's at the apex of what's called the Palm Jumeirah. Now, that Palm Jumeirah is an island that's in the shape of a palm frond. Now, this island was built 2 miles into the ocean. Just think about that. How does that happen? It cost $1.9 billion to build this hotel. It's described as a fairy tale palace. It cost up to $100,000 a night to stay there. Now, you can get a tiny little place in the basement for $600. And then the next place, this is an iconic image. You may have seen this on the news in the last couple of days. This next picture, the Burj Al Arab. It's iconic cell-shaped hotel. It's known for its opulence and very exclusive services. Did you see that picture? Anybody see it the last couple of days? Well, it cost $3,000 to $55,000 per night to stay there. The 30% of the visitors there are from China. I found this really fascinating. There's a Russian oligarch and a Ukrainian oligarch who live there. Are y'all connecting that? Their average daily bill is $100,000. They're friends, they're pals, they go places together. They have a fleet of limos waiting for them at all times. Now just ponder that. 2 supposed enemies of state living the high life far, far away from the battlefield. Well, you might have recalled there were flames that were coming from this building last week. There was a missile fired from Iran. Abu Dhabi and Dubai have ways to receive the missiles and attack the missiles. So they have bases there that do that. And so in intercepting this missile, there was burning shrapnel that fell down to the building and attached to the side of it and caused some damage. It did not destroy it. In fact, there has been nothing that we saw that has been destroyed. There had been some minor fires and a lot of scary things. Airport is still not fully open. But that was a beautiful, iconic building that we loved seeing. Abu Dhabi now is one of the 7 emirates of the state. It is one of the wealthiest planets. It has $1.7 trillion in assets. Well, this next picture shows the gold. This is the gold market. This demonstrates this extravagant gold. I think the Queen of Sheba would have been quite impressed with that, don't you think? Look at that. Well, the Arab countries are really known for their spices. Oh, the Queen of Sheba would have enjoyed seeing these spices. I came back with some of those. It was beautiful. I will add that they import everything. You know what they grow there? They grow dates. They have, when the country, many years ago, they planted palm trees. They were only date palm trees. So dates are the things that you eat and get there. And so they don't have other things. You can either get dates or Dubai chocolate. I'm telling you, I was a happy girl when I got some Dubai chocolate. Well, the architecture of the Emirates is spectacular. I took this picture and several of them at a lake that was outside of our hotel. This lake came from the ocean, but it was created to go around all the office buildings. This is an example of the mosque that was lighted up at night. And just so you know, this was not in downtown. This was a suburb of Dubai. So it was interesting to see skyscrapers in suburbs. More images I have of the extravagant architecture. Skyscrapers are in every community. And so it would be as if we had skyscrapers in East Brainerd and Saudi Daisy and Apison and Eastridge and Harrison. They were everywhere. And so people and businesses are clamoring to be a part of and to contribute to the wealth in the Emirates. Well, this next picture shows a contrast. Now, you see in the forefront, it's a beautiful miracle flower garden. It's filled with stunning shapes and beautiful colors of different flowers. We loved seeing that. It was almost like having a Disney park filled with flowers, everything created from flowers. But I really wanted to point out the background. This is a scene all over the country. These are cranes, building cranes. They're everywhere. Building is going up everywhere. People and businesses are clamoring to get space there. And so this fills the sky, and it demonstrates millions and billions of dollars of construction that are contributing to the country's growth and wealth. Well, I was able to go to the Grand Mosque of Dubai. And here's my picture. So we had to cover. Have any of you been to a mosque? Yes, some of you have. You know, you have to cover from head to toe. So I had on my scarf and my dress. If we didn't take our own to cover, then they would have given us something to put on. You have to cover. And so the Sheikh Zayed, who is was the president of the United Arab Emirates, paid $600 million. He raised that money to build this, and it's one of the most expensive in the world. The Great Mosque of Mecca is the most expensive. It's valued at $100 billion. But it was beautiful to see. I have some more pictures of the inside. It's filled with 17 million feet of marble. And that is a 45-foot chandelier. It has a ladder inside of it for maintenance and cleaning. And then I took a picture of the prayer rug. This is 60,000 square feet of rug, with over 2 billion stitches in that rug. Imagine creating that. Well, the next picture is of, we were in Abu Dhabi. It's one of the 7 states. It's one of the richest states. 70% of that country they have 70% of their wealth comes from oil. 30% is coming from tourism. They're trying to make the tourism even bigger than their oil production. But here's what is: barrels of oil sell for $7 to $10 a barrel. Now, keep that number in mind. But it sells for $50 a barrel. So you can see the wealth there. Well, I loved visiting the Dubai Louvre. So this cost $1.4 billion to build. And a part of that is, well, okay, back up to the other one. A part of that is what they had to pay to the French to have the name the Louvre. They had to pay $525 million for the right to use the name for 30 years. And then they additionally have to pay for the borrowed artwork and for the advice that they get for what they're curating. The Queen of Sheba would have been impressed. And then this next picture, I'm inside that dome. My friend Debbie Berg took that picture. So we were in there looking up, and I saw this little boy, and he was down on the floor. And he was standing next to his parents and got his parents to move over, and he got down on the floor, and he took that picture. I said, Debbie, we're going to do it. Come on. I got down in the floor and took a picture, and Debbie said, okay, I'll do my best. And she got down in there, and look at that shot. You can learn from the young about how to do pictures like that. What fun that was, though. The next picture is the Royal Palace of Abu Dhabi. That's where their President Zayed, lives. It cost about $490 million to build it. It spans 2 million square feet, and this is where political meetings and state receptions are held. The next picture is the Emirates Palace. This lavish hotel. It has gold leaf decor. It has a private beach that you're looking at, very fine dining. It costs $10,000 a night to stay there. Well, much like the Queen of Sheba, I got to travel a long distance and I got to see plenty of extravagance.